I got it first. I want to thank everybody. Obviously, I'm very happy to be back here. Extremely happy to be back. In training camp. It's been a long summer. Fully healthy, but I'm excited to come back here, compete. Um, I've had a lot of learning to do and watched a lot of film, so I'm excited to be able to play offensively, defensively, whatever role they put me in. I'm excited for that. It's when you go through a long off season like I have, you get to learn a lot about yourself and the company you keep. I have an extremely well support system, and I think that with everything that I learned, there's times you need to speak and there's times that you don't. I had probably how long until I talked to you guys? I was talking to you guys in February of last year. Whenever there's something that needs to be said, it'll come from Zach LaVine or my representation. There was a lot of thoughts and rumors, opinions about me, about the organization. So just know whenever it needs to come from me or them, you'll know it'll be from them. I think Rich talked one time, and this is my first talk time to you, so everything else you can take with a grain of salt, with false narratives or whatever it may be. I think going forward, the best way to handle, a lot of this stuff is I'm in a great situation, a great headspace. I'm fully healthy right now, which I don't take for granted. Anything negative that will try to pin me, the organization, rumors, drama, whatever it is, I leave that in the past. I'm focusing a lot on this camp right now, going forward on, this team and helping, learning, and just having a good time. I think that's something that's not talked about enough is, when you need to have good energy, only give into that. I don't want to keep talking about the past or anything because there's a lot of things I can't speak on, but there's no reason to. I had a conversation when I first committed to the Bulls and signed my deal here with Michael, with Jerry, AK, the front office, with the commitment that they gave me, the respect they gave me. I'm going to continue to give them that same respect, but not just the way I play, but with my professionalism. And that won't waver. That's something I stand on. So, anything going forward, I think that's, how I'm going to answer it. I'm looking to, get any questions that you guys want, but, I'm excited for this camp. I'm excited for this year. There's a lot of things that we can do moving forward. So, what's the first one?
One right here. We could all go home now. No, I'm just kidding. Just joking. Zach, Casey Johnson with the new Chicago Sports Network. Wanted to ask you just kind of your thoughts. Obviously, you had two significant roster changes in losing Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan. I wanted you to hopefully speak on their tenure here. And you kind of already alluded to fitting in with this camp and this new group. But how do you envision that working out on the court, especially with a guy in Josh Giddey, who's obviously a playmaker and that needs the ball in his hands a lot?
I think, obviously, good luck to Alex and DeMar. Those were huge guys to our team. And, wish them nothing but the best of luck. And looking forward to playing against them and talking a little junk to them when we see them. We have a hell of a playmaker in Josh. We played against him plenty of times, and we know what he brings to the table. I understand the roles that I play, but there isn't a situation or a role that I haven't been successful in. If it needs to be on the ball one day, off the ball, defending, rebounding, leadership, there isn't a role I'm not comfortable in. So I'm looking forward to get out there and playing with Josh and competing and seeing definitely having my hands ready because he can pass that thing.
Zach, Joe Colley, sometimes I know you said you did a lot of thinking and had a lot of time to kind of process. You talked about the support system and all that.
Yeah.
What went into that thought process, or was it the support around you where to make sure that you didn't come into this season with worried about the name on the back of the jersey and not the front of the jersey? Because that's an easy trap to fall into, considering everything you've been through, everything that's been reported, everything that's been talked to. What process did you go through to make sure that you don't fall into that trap, which would be human nature?
I think whenever I'm able to have the chance to put on a Chicago Bulls jersey, I take pride in that. I have since I was traded here, 8 years ago. And I think that's always been first and foremost in my book. And then being prepared for not just physically but mentally, with the situation that you're in. This is a business, and you have to understand what comes with it. And when you get to a certain status like I have, that's what you have to understand. And I'm okay with that. I've never ran away from it. So I've been, I was preparing myself, just like I would for the season, for everything else that came with it.
To that, how do you make sure you then block out the noise that will continue to go, especially as this year goes on, trade deadline, all that kind of stuff, because it's going to be there.
When you're able to play basketball, a lot of that stuff goes away. Last year I was able to, I got hurt, you can't play anymore. And when that's taken away from you, it's not a lot that you can do besides sit there and try to get healthy. So I think just coming back, being able to be ready for camp and playing is going to take care of itself.
Over here, Darnell Mayberry, the Athletic. You mentioned a few times now your mental space and how at peace you are. Can you elaborate on that and just how you got there this summer, given everything that's going on with this franchise and teammates, former teammates, and what that means for you?
I'm in a good space. I think recovering was great. Being able to have a full summer of training was incredible. I have a beautiful wife and family and kids. There's not a lot for me to be upset about or mad at. I'm in a good place, and especially when I'm now coming back into camp healthy, there's really nothing for me to complain about.
Hey, Zach, Will Gottlieb, CHGO. Just given the way that everything kind of worked out with the last couple of months and missing time and all the narratives that you're talking about, do you feel like you have something to prove now coming back in terms of, like, you are still an elite talent, or, you can still be the guy on a team? What's kind of your mentality around just returning to play?
Yeah, everybody uses fuel and motivation differently. I always have a chip on my shoulder. I played that way since I was 12 years old. I think not just for me, but for us, we have a lot to prove. When people doubt you, you get a little satisfaction with shutting people up. I think that's a mentality we can take forward.
And then, obviously some changes on the roster. What kind of conversations? Billy mentioned that he went to go see you. What have those conversations been like, and what do you expect your role to be? Is that going to be different at all from previous years?
I think when you're coming into a situation where we had a little bit of turnover, you have to have those conversations to be, get prepared for what roles you may be in, what is going to be asked of you. I'm in my 11th year now. I've had 126, 127 different teammates and 6 different head coaches. There isn't a situation I haven't been successful in or prepared for, or a role I haven't played. So I told Billy, whatever's going to be needed or asked from me, I'll be ready for it, and we can get ready to get this thing moving.
Hey, Zach, Andy Seligman with the AP. Just what is your level of surprise that you are here and didn't get traded?
Like I said, I'm talking about anything with camp going forward. I can't speak on the future. I wish I had a crystal ball. I'd talk about a lot of things.
Even Drew Stevens with the Bigs. Zach, there was a report that there were up to 15 proposed trades this summer, or going back to last season with you involved. You're still here. Do you take it kind of personally that you weren't able to be moved?
Like I just said, man, I don't speak on rumors. I don't speak on things that I don't know is true or not. I know I'm ready for camp, and I know I'm wearing the Chicago Bulls jersey. Yeah, I'm happy for that.
Zach, Josh Hicks, Honor Daily News. Coby White obviously had a pretty impressive season last year where he made a case for Most Improved Player of the Year. What expectations do you have of him going to take on more of a leadership role, more of an experience role this upcoming season? And second question is, Derrick Rose obviously retiring. You had your fair share of moments playing against him. What's one of your fondest moments of it?
The first one for Coby. Coby's been ascending since we drafted him. We've seen it, but with the opportunity of injuries or whatever it may be, Coby was when opportunity knocks, some people are ready to step through that door. Coby's always been ready for that. you talk about his leadership. He's been doing that for the last couple of years. Kobe's a very outspoken person and somebody that we can count on for consistency. Not just with his play, but with his personality and the way he talks. So I think that's going to be great for us. Kobe is going to continue to get better and better. I've been one of his biggest supporters, since he was a rookie, and I can't wait to see where he keeps going. D Rose, man, he's a legend. There's not enough that you can say about the career he's had and the struggles that he's had and his ups and downs, but I think as a person, and I don't know him personally like some other people do, but having conversations with him and other people around the league of how respected he is and how much better of a person he is than a basketball player. And that says a lot coming from a former MVP, So my hat's off to him. I hope him and his family are extremely happy, and he's had a hell of a career.
Zach, we talked to you in LA in February, right after the surgery. You said you're fully healthy. You said even then you were going to beat the organizational timeline. I assume you had pretty much a normal off season.
Yeah, a little bit longer one. Yeah.
Talk us through that process and just kind of what shape you're coming into camp in physically.
I feel really good. I recovered quickly. I think I was doing contact in June, and since then I've been training, on my body and everything else. So it's I'm ready to go. I had a full off season. Nothing different that I wouldn't have had. I'm very prepared for camp. Thank you, guys.